From KAUZ TV, celebrating 50 years of service to Wichita Falls and Texoma, this is News Channel 6 Tonight.
The past month or so, it's been really hard. I haven't felt strongly, but I am so happy. And I'm so grateful for the prayers and the help and the eyes out there. It is just absolutely wonderful.
Words from a relieved father tonight. 9 months after she disappeared, teenager Elizabeth Smart is alive and back with her family.
Elizabeth disappeared from her bedroom in Salt Lake City, Utah last June 5th. She became the subject of a nationwide search. Police have 2 suspects in custody tonight. One is a drifter named Brian David Mitchell. He once did handyman work at the Smart family home. The other is a woman. She's identified as Wanda Barzee. Tips led police to the 3 on a street in Salt Lake suburb of Sandy. All 3 were disguised in wigs. And Mitchell is 49. Sometimes he goes by the name Emmanuel. He's a self-styled prophet who lived in the mountains. Elizabeth's parents say she's in good health.
She looks very, very healthy. She's grown a lot. And I'm just so absolutely thrilled. I couldn't believe it. In fact, I had to take a double take and pull her back away from me and say, "Is it really you?"
No word yet on whether she was subjected to abuse.
Wichita Falls mother faces 2 charges of child endangerment tonight. Police found 2 small children wandering around a convenience store on Loop 11 one night last month. They traced the youngsters to a home on Ewell Street. There they reportedly found the mother asleep with 2 other people. Officers say the house was filled with empty bottles of liquor. They arrested 23-year-old Pamela Latham. She reportedly tested positive for methamphetamine at the scene. She was jailed in lieu of $20,000 bond. Children were turned over to state authorities.
Well, 2 people are recovering tonight after being shot on Wichita Falls east side last night. Police say Cedric Lamont Gray was shot in the arm and Emperor Holt was shot in the stomach. The shooting happened about 6:15 yesterday evening at a car wash at the intersection of East Side Drive and Sullivan Street. The victims took private vehicles to the hospital. Police are looking for suspects.
Wichita Falls police finally got a break in a robbery of the Coca-Cola distributorship. You may remember that. They arrested 19-year-old Chaz Gaines in Decatur in Wise County. Police are still looking for his brother, 21-year-old Charmus Gaines. Police say 3 men held up the distributorship at 1512 Lamar Street. They assaulted a worker and forced him into a vault. They got away with about $30,000. It is a nice night out there tonight. And as a matter of fact, it's so springy that there's some thunderstorms up to our north.
Yeah, it feels a little balmy out there, Megan.
Right, there are some thunderstorms up to our north. In fact, a severe thunderstorm watch for Comanche County. Let's look at that very quickly. You can see this line of thunderstorms popped up rather quickly along I-40. It's continuing to move to the southeast at 25 miles per hour. And so far, the Lawton area, Comanche County, in the severe thunderstorm watch till 2 in the morning. What I'm watching here is this little bump, if you can see it, back to the south and west. This area here is looks like it's trying to build a little bit back to the west. So want to watch the area from Lawton over toward the Stevens County area as this storm system continues to move to the southeast. Probably won't hit Wichita Falls. Your first forecast for tonight calls for mostly cloudy skies with a 40% chance of thunder, mainly east of the city of Wichita Falls. Low temperatures down into the low 50s. Currently, we're seeing a temperature still holding on to 70. It is balmy outside, Rhonda, with south winds at 15 miles per hour. We'll have more details on this event here in just a few minutes, Rhonda.
All right, thanks a lot, Megan. Well, President Bush is getting the backing of a living legend for an attack on Iraq. General Tex Hill talked about his experiences as a Flying Tiger pilot at Shepherd Air Force Base today. In World War II, Hill destroyed more than 18 enemy aircraft. Now, he may have been the first American to shoot down a Japanese Zero.
Got a crisis, and that guy is going to smoke these people out. He needs to make them stand up and be counted, and that's been needed for a long time.
John Wayne played General Hill in a movie called The Flying Tigers. The Tigers were an American volunteer group of former Army, Air Force, Navy, and Marine Corps pilots.
Here are the latest developments on the showdown with Iraq. It looks like the U.S. is going to push for a Security Council vote on Iraq on Friday. President Bush spent the day lobbying his fellow leaders for a resolution backing the use of force. The administration says it secured 8 or 9 votes needed for a vote to pass, but international opposition to war remains strong, and France is still threatening a veto. For the first time, though, the White House is suggesting that voting against a new resolution could hurt a country's relationship with the United States. Britain has laid out a list of conditions for Iraq's disarmament. It's a checklist of sorts that could avoid war.
What we are looking at is whether we can set out a very clear set of tests for Iraq to meet in order to demonstrate that it is in full compliance, not partial compliance, but full compliance.
The checklist includes a television appearance by Saddam Hussein renouncing weapons of mass destruction. But so far, that plan doesn't have the stamp of approval from Washington. The White House says President Bush appreciates the plan, but is not endorsing it. Ari Fleischer says that and other ideas are being discussed with other capitals.
President Bush expressed strong support. We are working very closely with the United Kingdom as well as other nations on the Security Council, discussing the United Kingdom and other nations' various ideas. This is all part of these final stages in diplomacy.
And we are learning tonight more about the U.S. war plan in Iraq. That attack would probably begin with an onslaught of sea-based cruise missiles fired by as many as 30 ships. That would likely be followed by airstrikes that combine precision-guided missiles and gravity bombs. The White House thinks that would make for a shorter war than the one-month fight back in 1991. But it might come down to this. Yesterday, the military tested its biggest non-nuclear bomb in the arsenal. This is what it looked like. It's officially known as the Massive Ordnance Air Blast, or MOAB. Unofficially, it's called the mother of all bombs. And the mushroom cloud you see forming was visible in Florida for miles.
Support the troops rallies are on tap for the Wichita Falls area over the next couple of weeks. One group plans a rally next Saturday at 3 at Kemp and Caulfield. And the American Legion and VFW Post and Burke Burnett plan a rally the following Saturday, March 29th. That'll be at Friendship Park at 11 in the morning. Well, in Washington, the idea of taking the French out of French fries has some House Democrats boiling mad. One congressman says renaming them Freedom Fries and calling French toast Freedom Toast won't really do anything for the morale of U.S. forces. The move was meant to protest French opposition to a war with Iraq. Democrats note that the French are being singled out. They say nobody's tried to change the names of German chocolate cake or Russian salad dressing, and that the entire Chinese food section also has been spared.
U.S. and Pakistani officials deny, but there's a report that Osama bin Laden has been captured. An Islamic leader in Pakistan says officials were holding off on announcing the capture until a war with Iraq started. In Washington, the CIA says it is, quote, unaware of bin Laden being captured by anyone at this time. But if he's not caught yet, they are getting closer. A laptop computer used by al-Qaeda planner Ali Sheikh Mohammed has yielded a list of hiding places along the Pakistan-Afghan border used by bin Laden. So far, only lower-level al-Qaeda operatives have been found there. Authorities seized the computer when Mohammed was arrested on March the 1st. He's believed to be responsible for the planning of the attacks of 9/11.
Well, the Prime Minister of Serbia has been assassinated. Zoran Jinjic was ambushed outside government headquarters today by gunmen. He died a short time later at a Belgrade hospital. Serbian authorities have 2 men in custody tonight, but the search for more continues. Jinjic is the man who gets much of the credit for pushing aside Slobodan Milosevic in Yugoslavia.
Back in Texas, 3 children are dead, and their mother is in custody in Brownsville tonight. Police found their decapitated bodies inside an apartment late last night. 23-year-old Angela Camacho and 22-year-old John Allen Rubio gave voluntary statements admitting to the killings. They will face capital murder charges. The victims were all under the age of 3. Police say the children were living in poor, trashy condition. Authorities are not talking about a motive tonight. The Supreme Court has issued a stay in what would have been the 300th execution in Texas since it was restated back in 1982. Delma Banks was scheduled to die tonight in Huntsville. Banks was sentenced to death for the 1980 murder of a 16-year-old boy in Texarkana. He says he was wrongfully convicted. Banks is black, his victim was white, and the jury was all white.
Well, identity theft is the fastest growing crime, and lawmakers claim more than 14,000 Texans fell victim to it last year. Just last week, more than 50,000 University of Texas students learned their names and Social Security numbers were stolen. Currently, a student's Social Security number is used as a form of identification. The university now wants to make that ID a different number.
Personal credit and Social Security information should be treated no differently than our medical records or our voting records. They ought to be private.
A coalition of bipartisan lawmakers is considering a number of bills to curb identity theft. One bill would allow victims of ID theft to freeze their credit records. Another shortens credit card numbers on cash register receipts. Also up for debate, restricting the use of Social Security numbers as identification numbers and prohibiting businesses from selling your personal information without your permission. Well, you can protect yourself from having your identity stolen. The Wichita Falls Police Department says you should shred anything with personal information or account numbers on it. Don't just throw it away. Criminals will dig through trash looking for information. Then they use it to drain your accounts and damage your credit. It can all happen without you even knowing.
They will take that information, duplicate it on to a counterfeit check or identity with something that'll match it to that crook.
Technology has helped thieves. They use computers to make fake money orders, checks, and other money makers. Still ahead on News Channel 6 tonight, tight money will mean cutbacks in Wichita Falls schools.
And a former Wichita Falls mayor takes his battle against annexation to the state level.
News Channel 6, where weather comes first, with Rhonda Mackey, Lynn Walker, Storm Team Command Center forecaster Megan Danahay, and Chris Horgan's Video Sports. This is News Channel 6 tonight. Closed caption, your Storm Team Command Center forecast, powered by First American Bank Doppler 6000.
Here's a look at First American Bank Skycam 6. This is looking off to the north and east, hoping to see a little lightning in there. That is where we can see it. That's where the storms are. It's quiet here in Wichita Falls, but there are some healthy storms just to the northeast of the viewing area. Let's look quickly at our StrikeNet 6, and you can see where these storms are. Actually, a lot of lightning going back from, this is around Fort Cobb Lake in Caddo County, back through the Oklahoma City metro area and back off to the north and east. And this line, you can see with this lightning motion, is moving to the south and east. We'll look quickly at First American Bank Viper Max 6, and I'll show you this picture here. You can see where those storms are now. Most of these have been severe on this back edge of this thunderstorm, as well as the storms in Oklahoma City with golf ball size hail, very heavy rain, and gusty winds. What we're watching, see this little bit right here? That's trying to build just a little bit on the back end of this line. So that is why Comanche County remains into the severe thunderstorm watch until 2 in the morning. Some of this back end may clip Comanche County and Stevens County. We'll have to watch it in the next hour and see what it does here on this back end. Otherwise, most of this will move over I-44 and out of the area. Now, quickly, we'll look at the severe thunderstorm watch, and you can see that it just contains one county, this bottom corner. I wouldn't be surprised for them to move this a little further south as this line drifts to the south and east. If it starts to turn a little bit more south, we could see some changes. But right now, just Comanche County until 2 in the morning. Why are we seeing this? Well, it was a very warm day today. High temperatures around 85 degrees here in Wichita Falls, 52 the official low. We look a little bit further out here. You can see the temperature is currently 68 now in Wichita Falls with 66 in Graham. So still very moist air to the southeast. You can see it 68 in Dallas, 64 in Austin, 50s back to the north, 56 in Amarillo, 45 in Dodge City, Kansas. There is a cold front moving through, and it's moving in to this very rich, unstable air. You can see the cooler air back to the north of this front that's moving through Kansas, and the warm, unstable air down to the south and east, a perfect spring situation for why those storms are going up right now. And that's what we're seeing. Also a dry line that's back off to our west, separating the moist air here. Dew points today have been in the lower 60s, so we've got a lot of moisture to work with as the system pushes ahead of the cold front that will be moving through. But once the front is through, we shouldn't see any more rain tomorrow. But there, look at the thunderstorms now, a little bit of a wider view back through Oklahoma City with some major severe weather going on into Missouri right now, too. So very strong thunderstorms to watch tonight, and we will do that for you here. After tomorrow, rain chances will end for us. High pressure will move into the area. You can see the high pressure back in Colorado. It will move in, push this cold front out of the way, and we'll see stable weather for the next couple of days. But as far as tonight goes, Comanche County severe thunderstorm watch for you until 2 in the morning. Tonight, mostly clear and mild, especially west. But as we get in toward Lawton, Wichita Falls, and areas to the east, we're going to see a pretty good chance of thunderstorms, and some of it might contain heavy rain. Some of those might be strong. Lows will be 50 to 55 tonight. Tomorrow, not as warm as today, but nice. Highs will be in the low to mid 70s with a northeast wind at 10 to 15 miles per hour behind the front. Things will be dry on Friday with a high of 75. A slight chance of showers and thunderstorms on Saturday, a high of 77. Another chance of rain on Sunday, and a good chance you'll see some rain on Monday, and some of those could be some strong storms too. So we said it earlier, it's like you just flick the spring switch, and here we go.
Here it comes. All right,
thanks Megan.
Wichita Falls School Board members got a glimpse of next year's budget, and it's a pretty grim sight.
Less money may mean fewer jobs. News Channel 6's Jennifer George has more. Jennifer.
Rhonda, educators say they're dealing with this problem head on and hope the $2.5 million budget shortfall won't take its toll on the classroom. The 2003-2004 school budget means cuts somewhere.
We can't keep doing everything we've been doing with less resources.
Higher property values and lower enrollment are part to blame.
This economic downturn, I think we're losing some families to the Metroplex.
School officials say educators' job duties may expand.
We definitely will be asking fewer people to do more work, and
We can become more efficient, see if we can streamline some of the things that we do, and just really look for cost savings ideas to be able to balance this budget.
But it'll be another 3 months before the district knows how much the state will provide.
We're just budgeting for sort of the middle road and hope that that the gains will come along and that we won't have a substantial decrease in state funding.
Jennifer George, News Channel 6 tonight.
Well, former Mayor Jerry Luke, who fought annexation his entire 2 years in office, is fighting it again, this time as a private citizen. Luke is offering his support to House Bill 568, which slaps dozens of restrictions on land annexation. Luke is expected to travel to Austin next Monday to meet with an anti-annexation group on the Capitol steps.
And this is an annexation bill which is going to slow the process of annexation by the cities. Cities that annex and don't give the citizens anything, no water, no sewer, or anything, is against the law.
Luke says the bill is still being considered in committee.
Some major U.S. airlines are making it easier on travelers to change tickets if the United States goes to war. American, United, Delta, Northwest, Continental, and U.S. Airways will not charge a penalty if passengers reschedule. Also, there will be no penalty for changing destinations, and restricted tickets would generally remain non-refundable. This comes as major airlines are asking the government for $9 billion in tax cuts. A look for traffic to zip along on Kell Boulevard tomorrow afternoon. That's when the new leg of the Kell Freeway is due to open up. The Texas Department of Transportation will have a grand opening ceremony at 2 in the afternoon. The Kell Freeway project's been in the works for more than 30 years. Coming up on News Channel 6 tonight, scantily clad spring breakers beware, showing too much could leave you broke.
Late bargain hunting helped the stock market turn things around and finished modestly higher. The Dow closed up 28 points at 75.52. The Nasdaq Composite rose 7 points and change to finish at 12.79.
And crude oil futures prices ended higher on the New York Mercantile. The near-month contract for the benchmark grade rose $1.11 to $37.83 a barrel.
You know, purchasing a used car doesn't have to be hard. Matter of fact, it's not. Right here at John Houghton Chickasha, we make it pretty easy with GM certified units. 2002 Astro, all-wheel drive, $205 a month. Or how about a beautiful Aurora, 2002 model, $229 a month. Or how about this, folks, 2002 Alero, $134 a month. I think the hardest thing to do is pick your favorite color. You always get the best price. That's a promise. Come see us.
Now, Health Watch 6.
Teens with jobs are learning valuable lifelong skills, and do sneezing and working out exclude each other? Concerns that jobs keep teens away from schoolwork may benefit from a little education from the folks at the University of Minnesota. They surveyed teens with part-time employment. The students overwhelmingly said their jobs increase their confidence, help them learn time management skills, and broaden their perspectives of the working world. Parents of the young workers also agreed the work helped prepare their teens for challenges they will encounter as adults. If you're wondering whether a cold should sideline your workouts, the American College of Sports Medicine offers recommendations for ailing athletes. They say if your symptoms affect you from the neck up, like sneezing or a dry cough, then you can safely have a moderate workout. However, if you have a fever and any symptoms that affect your body from the neck down, then give your body a break and let your immune system run off the germs. And that's tonight's Health Watch 6 report.
Add time in the dentist chair to the childhood risk from inhaling secondhand cigarette smoke. Researchers say a child who's exposed to smoking has nearly double the risk of cavities. Those are caused by bacteria introduced to the mouth through smoke. Children's teeth are particularly susceptible because they have thinner enamel coverings.
Well, a boost for actor Robert Blake's case today. An expert says he can't tell whether possible gunshot residue found on Blake came from the weapon used to kill his wife. Earlier testimony had established that the particles may not even be gunshot residue. Blake's preliminary hearing will determine whether he and co-defendant Earl Caldwell will stand trial for the murder of Bonnie Lee Bakley. Today was the last day of testimony.
Spring break has started for a lot of college co-eds in Florida, but this year's partiers have to watch how much skin they show. Under a new anti-nudity ban in effect along Daytona Beach, 1/4 of the bosom and 1/3 of the buttocks must be covered. It's not clear how you're supposed to measure, but police say they know what they're looking for. They know it when they see it. Fines are about $100.
Well, next on News Channel 6 tonight, we'll visit the Big 12 Women's Tournament in Dallas.
And the Stars on ice tonight in their old home city. Chris Horgan will have that next on News Channel 6.
I was born. We started out issues that are the talk of the town. Sometimes they don't just fit into one single story.
So, where can you turn to learn more about the issues that affect you?
High on the Falls, a partnership between News Channel 6 and the Times-Record News.
Exclusively on News Channel 6. Video Sports is brought to you by your Texas Jeep dealer. Now, Video Sports on News Channel 6 with Chris Horgan.
Midwestern State men's head basketball coach Greg Giddings resigned today. In his third year, he was 38-45 as a head coach. This year, MSU a tough 10-18. Giddings came under fire late this season after MSU was failing to win close games. His team was informed today. The former Indians player wants to concentrate on his PhD and continue teaching. He inherited the head coaching job after Jeff Ray stepped down. Giddings has been Ray's assistant for the previous 4 years. MSU will now begin a new search, which is expected to start next week. Now, the MSU women's team in action Friday night. They'll face Washburn. This is in the first round of the South Central Regional in the NCAA Division II National Tournament. Game time's at 8 o'clock. You can hear the game on the radio and the all-new Mix 106 FM. Big 12 women tonight. Marcia Sharp, 500-plus wins. Texas Tech taking on Oklahoma State. Julie Goodenough, the head coach at OSU, 4 D1 wins. Gia Perkins, little discrepancy there. With the drive, she gets the 2 to go. Tech was on top at that point. Then later on, Shantoya Hawkins gets the hoop and the foul. They were tied at the half in this game, but the final score in this, Texas Tech takes off in the second half. 75-52 as the Cowgirl season comes to an end and Tech advances. Texas was a winner over Kansas today. Heather Schreiber had 14 points and 10 rebounds as they win 87-56. Colorado and Oklahoma went at it later, and Colorado comes up a winner there, 73-68. Also, Kansas State down Baylor tonight to advance in the tournament, 77-60. The guys' tournament starts tomorrow. Spurs in action tonight, and watch this.
Goes inside.
Tim Duncan gets blocked by Kevin Garnett, and they're off to the races. Garnett at the other end. He's going to go end to end. He's going to take it all the way. No, he's blocked by Tim Duncan. Absolutely crazy as the two superstars would exchange fun, and the final score in this. So San Antonio grabs a win over the T-Wolves, a rare home loss for them, 111-99 the final there. The Texas Rangers today waived curveball specialist Rob Bell. Bell was acquired 2 seasons ago for Cincinnati in a trade for the then-touted outfielder Ruben Mateo. He gave up 2 earned runs in his only inning of A-ball this spring. Last year he was 4-3 with a 6.22 ERA for the Rangers. He went 5-0 with AAA Oklahoma. The move leaves Texas with 46 players in camp, including 12 non-roster invitees. Also, former Ranger and veteran lefty Kenny Rogers has reached a preliminary agreement with the Twins on a 1-year, $2 million contract. The deal containing about $500,000 in performance incentives. He was 13-8 with a 3.85 ERA for the Rangers last season, 145 wins in his 15-year Major League career. He had a perfect game 9 years ago. And the Stars in action tonight, taking on the Minnesota Wild, and it was not good. Darby Hendrickson gets a goal. It was the first of 4 against Ron Tugnut as he faced 10 hole shots before he got pulled. Dallas went down 4-0 in the first period. They scored twice in the third, but the final in this one, 4-2, Minnesota knocking off the Stars. So there you go.
Lots of sports stuff. Thank you, Chris.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This is a big sale. One day.
Life as it comes, or you can grab it by the horns. Dodge.
Just want to remind everybody, severe thunderstorm watch for Comanche until 2 a.m. tonight. We'll be on that for you here.
All right. Thanks, Megan, and thanks for joining us.
We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Good night.